नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देकं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सखगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सखगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। Hare Krishna. By the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, we are successfully studying Bhagavad Gita every day, and we finished 18 slokas in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Universal Form, Visvarupa. So now Arjuna is able to see Krishna's Visvarupa, and he is explaining what he is seeing in Krishna's universal form. We are very, very fortunate to understand this knowledge about Krishna's universal form. This is possible only with this human body. We have got that. We have got this human body, this human brain. So that's why we are able to understand about ourselves, and we are able to understand about the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So this knowledge, Bhagavad Gita knowledge, is the only knowledge about ourself, about the soul. When you go to library, you will see, but these days most of the libraries are online library. But I have seen when I did my PhD, so there was no internet at that time, there was no online, nothing. So the library itself has several floors, and you have to go to the particular floor and then go to the particular aisle, and then to find out to locate the journal paper or whatever you want, whatever the book you want. So it's so huge for material subjects. There is so much. Now I'm talking about like 25 years ago. So now there are so many publications. Every day there are so many publications, so many conferences, so many research publications. Everything is coming up. But nobody is going to write about or talk about the soul, our self. There is so much discussed about the matter. Even if you want to now understand about this coronavirus, there will be so many articles, so much you can find out to know about it. So this is the only book, Bhagavad Gita as it is, where we can find out about ourself. We can know, we can understand about ourself. So this is such a very important book because this is for the soul. And there too only with the human body we can understand. Only with the human brain we can understand about ourselves. So just one book. And Krishna says that just this one book, just this knowledge, this Bhagavad Gita, if you understand, then you don't need to know anything else. That's what Krishna is saying. If you just understand this. But if you don't understand Bhagavad Gita, if you don't know Bhagavad Gita, that means we have no knowledge. So Krishna says in the 13th chapter, this is the knowledge. Whatever I am telling here, that is the knowledge. Everything other than this is ignorance. That's what Krishna says. Krishna says that everything else is ignorance. Etat jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yatato anyata. So etat jnanam iti proktam. So iti proktam. So this said by me. Whatever I said just now. So iti proktam. Etat jnanam. So this is knowledge. So etat jnanam iti proktam. Ajnanam yatato anyata. Anything other than this, they are ignorance. Ajnana. Ajnanam yatato anyata. That's what Krishna says in the 13th chapter, 12th shloka. So, amanitvam madambitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyopasanam saucham stairyam atma vinigraham indriyarteshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshanu darshanam asakti anavisvangaha putradara grihadishu nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu mayi chananya yogena bhaktir avyabhicharini vivikta desha sevitvam aratir jana samsadi adhyatma jnana nityatvam tattva jnanartha darshanam etat jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yadatonyata. So whatever I just said, these are knowledge. Anything other than this are ignorance. Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, acharya upasana, saucham, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, indriyarteshu vairagyam. That's what renunciation of the objects of sense gratification. Absence of false ego, anahankara, absence of false ego. The perception of the evil of birth, death, old age and disease, janma, mrityu, jara, vyadi, dukkha, doshanu, darshanam. One should be able to see these things as the symptoms of our sufferings. So dukkham. So these are the sources of our distress. Dukkha doshanu darshanam. What? Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadi. Dukkha doshanu darshanam. Birth, old age, disease and death. Detachment. Freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home and the rest. One can ask, how is it possible? When we consider Krishna as one of our family member, then it is very much possible. If we just ignore Krishna, we don't consider Krishna into picture at all, then we are too much attached to our material relations, everything in this material world. So we should be able to see everyone as the soul. So if we are too much attached to Krishna, so then we will not be attached to anything else in this material world. So even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events. Constant and unalloyed devotion to me. So nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapartisu maichananya yogena bhaktir avyabhicharin. That's what unalloyed devotion. Bhaktir avyabhicharin. Aspiring to live in a solitary place. Vivikta desha sevitvam aratir jana samsati. So that's what jana aratir jana samsati means, solitary place. Detachment from the general mass of people. That's what aratir jana samsati. Accepting the importance of self-realization. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam. Then tattva jnanartha darshanam. And philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance. That's what Krishna is saying. So this is knowledge. So in this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, everything Krishna is teaching us, we can gain all these qualities just by studying Bhagavad Gita. Everything. Whatever Krishna said here, everything we can just gain by just studying this Bhagavad Gita. That's it. By studying and understanding Bhagavad Gita, we are going to get everything. All these qualities will come. Everything. By getting this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Everything. So we listed so many things. In 5 slokas, Krishna explained what is jnanam, what is knowledge. But we can gain all this knowledge, everything, all these qualities, everything, just by studying Bhagavad Gita and understanding it. That's it. If we get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, if we realize that we are the soul, we are not this body, and if we understand very well that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so then we are going to gain all these qualities. Everything. That means we are going to get knowledge. So that's what Krishna is saying, that all these things I declare to be knowledge. Etat jnanam iti proktam. Ajnanam yadato anyada. So others in this world who have no idea about ourselves, who have no idea, no knowledge about the soul, and they can talk for hours, they can go to conferences and publish papers and present all those things, and they can wear coat and suits and everything. They can look like very busy business people, businessmen, or this or that, and all such things. But if they don't have the knowledge about the self, the knowledge that we are not the body, we are the soul, if they don't have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, the song of God, so Krishna is saying that they don't have any knowledge. Ajnanam. Ajnanam yatato anyata. That's what we need to understand. In this material world, people get attached to material sense objects, attached to material power, position, this, that, all such things, and they think that that is what permanent. We don't understand our body is getting old. That's what we discussed yesterday. So just the new year. So today it is still 2021, January 1st in US, and it's already 2nd in India. So in other parts of the world. So basically we understand that we are getting old. That's what we need to understand. When we are getting old means our body is getting old. Our cells are getting, even though our cells are getting replaced, our cells are getting divided. It is getting into new cells. New cells means the chromosomes, they basically, all these genes, basically everything, chromosomes, they are doubling and then forming new cells. So everything, every cell has got a nucleus, so new nucleus with all the genetic material in it, and everything is a new cell. One cell is divided into 2 cells. So basically a new cell. So that's what is called mitosis or even meiosis. So, but we need to understand that the new cell is old, it's getting old. That's what we need to understand. When our body, so every time when our new cells are created, when the time goes by, that cell is getting old. We need to understand. So for the replication of that cell, so there is something at the end of the chromosome, there is something called telomere. So that is getting shortened every time. So that way, our body is designed only to live up to certain number of years. That's it. So our body is getting old. So we are getting old. We are means our body. But the soul is always young. The soul is never getting old. The soul is always young. So we are that soul. We are not the body. We are the soul. That's what we need to understand. We need to understand that we are the soul. We are not the body. So that knowledge we can get only from Bhagavad Gita. If we don't have that knowledge, so then whatever we may be in this world, whatever position or whatever achievements or whatever accomplishments we have made in this world, everything is basically useless. Everything can finally, when we die, just our body will be sent to crematorium. That's it. That's it. When a person leaves this body, nobody cares. Whoever may be, whoever that person may be. Nobody can keep at home. When the person leaves the body, when the soul leaves the body, then that is body. That is known as dead body. That's it. Only when a person is alive, that person is given respect. So that respect comes because that person is there, that soul is there. So that Atma is getting the respect, not the body. Because when we are no more alive in this body, when the soul leaves the body, so then it becomes a dead body. So that way we need to understand very well that we are not this body, we are the soul, and we need to get this knowledge. So that is the Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Only in Bhagavad Gita we understand about ourselves very well. Just only one book. As I said in the very beginning, there are so many millions and millions and billions of publications and everything. In each and every field, there are many, many different departments, different labs, and different researchers are going on, so many things in the world. But if you don't understand that we are the soul, if you don't have any knowledge about ourselves, so then all this knowledge are basically useless knowledge. So we are very, very fortunate. Only 1 in 1,000 can get this knowledge that we are the soul. Only 1 in 1,000 will understand. So we are very fortunate we got this opportunity and we are making good progress. Very nice, excellent progress. Every day we are studying, and our strength is increasing, and we are getting more committed in studying Bhagavad Gita, and we are getting more enjoyment when we study Bhagavad Gita, when we listen to Krishna's song, this song of God, Krishna's song. So it is bringing us so much joy, so much happiness, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. So that way, just this one book, just 18 chapters, 700 slokas is just enough for us. If we have this knowledge fully, understand about ourselves, that we are not this body, but even though we are soul, but we are controlled by the 3 modes of material nature, and we are forced to act in this material way. And because of that, we are forced to suffer and struggle in this temporary, miserable place. We need to find a way to solve this problem. So we need to solve this. The only solution to all these problems is just receiving the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Mat prasada tarishyasi. By my mercy, every problems are solved. That's what Krishna is saying. All the problems are solved. So if you get Krishna's mercy, if you understand this Bhagavad Gita fully, if you follow this Bhagavad Gita completely, so then by Krishna's causeless mercy, we will be able to plan our life. We will be able to do everything in our life, in our day-to-day activities, everything with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita in the right way. So that we won't get ourselves entangled in this material world. So the roots to this material world is getting very strong day by day for a person who is so much attached to the material sense objects. But for a devotee who has no attachment to the sense objects, who has no attachment to the results, who is only attached to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So for him, day by day, our connections with this material world is completely getting disconnected. So we are able to cut all our connections. We don't have any time to think about material sense objects. We don't feel busy in serving our senses, in going after the material sense objects. We may be very busy in serving Krishna, in studying Bhagavad Gita. So each and every moment, each and every second, we can effectively use in Krishna's service. That's what is very, very important. So this time is very important. Time is Krishna. And this Bhagavad Gita is the knowledge we need. And by Krishna's mercy in this human life, if we effectively use this time to gain this knowledge and then act and apply this knowledge in our life, and then we will be able to really, really make a very, very fast progress towards Krishna. We need to do that. That's what is very important. There is no point in getting attached to things in this material world and forgetting Krishna and suffering and struggling in this material world. It is not fun at all. So with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, by Krishna's mercy, we will go to Krishna. There is no doubt about it. So in the universal form, in the Viswarupa, Arjuna is able to see Krishna with unlimited arms, bellies, mouths, eyes, and everything. And it is expanded everywhere. And it is as if thousands of suns appeared at the same time. So it was so much effulgent. Glaring effulgence is Arjuna is not even able to see, even with his divine eyes. Durniriksham samanta. That's what Arjuna told it. It's very, very difficult to see your effulgence. Durniriksham samanta. Gritinam gatinam chakrinam cha tejorasim sarvato deeptimantam pasyamitvam durniriksham samantat deeptanalarka dyutim aprameyam. So it's very difficult to see. So deeptamantam, it's glaring effulgence. That's what deeptamantam, it's glowing. It's glowing. So blazing fire, like blazing fire, it's glowing like a blazing fire on all sides. Sarvato deeptimantam. Sarvato deeptimantam means it's glowing on all sides. So it's very difficult to see. So then Arjuna told Krishna this sloka, what we studied yesterday in the 18th sloka. Tvamaksharam paramam veditavyam tvamasya visvasya param nidanam Tvamavyayaga sasvata dharma gopta sanatanatvam purusho mathe me Tvam aksharam. So you are the infallible. Tvam aksharam veditavyam paramam veditavyam. You are the supreme and you are to be known. Veditavyam. Tvamasya visvasya param nidanam. You are the resting place of the supreme resting place of this universe. Tvamasya visvasya param nidanam. Tvam avyayaga sasvata dharma gopta. You are eternal. You are inexhaustible. Tvam avyayaga, and you are the maintainer of the dharma, maintainer of the righteousness, religion. So sasvata dharma gopta. And sanatanastvam, so maintainer of the eternal dharma, sanatana dharma. Sanatanastvam purusho matome. You are eternal, supreme personality. That's what Arjuna said. Now, in the next sloka, what we are studying today in the 19th sloka, Arjuna is continuing that Anadi madhyantam ananta viryam ananta bahu sasisurya netram pasyamitvam Deepta Kutasavatram Swatejasa Viswamidam Tapantam Anadi Madhyantam Ananta Viryam Ananta Bahu Sasisurya Netram Pasyami tvam deeptakutasavakram swatejasa viswamidam tapantam. Anadi madhyantam. Adi madhyantam. Already we studied many times. Krishna told Arjuna, even I am the beginning, middle, and end. And Arjuna also told Krishna that I'm not even able to see your beginning, middle, or end. So that's what Anadi, Madhyantam. So that's what we studied already in this sloka 16. Arjuna told him, Aneka bahudara vaktra netram pasyami tvam sarvatonantarupam nantam namadyam napunastavadim pasyami visvesvara visvarupa nantam namadyam napunastavadim. So, na antam, no end. I'm not able to see the end. I'm not able to see the middle. I'm not able to see the beginning. So, that's what here Arjuna is again saying that Anadi Madhyantam Ananta Viryam. Anadi, I'm not able to, without any beginning. That's what Anadi. So, I'm not able to see the beginning. Madhya, I'm not able to see the middle. I'm not able to see the end. So, that's what Anadi Madhyantam Ananta Viryam. Without unlimited virya, unlimited glories, unlimited ananta viryam, anadi madhyantam ananta viryam, ananta bahum sasi surya netram, ananta bahum, unlimited arms, ananta means countless, unlimited arms, ananta bahum sasi surya netram. Sasi means the moon, surya is the sun, netram eyes, sun and moon are your eyes. So in Krishna's Viswarupa, Arjuna is explaining to us, Arjuna is explaining to Krishna, in fact, we are understanding that. So, Sasi Surya Netram. So, moon and sun are your eyes. Pasyamitvam Deepta Hutasavaktram. I am able to see. Deepta Hutasavaktram. So, Deepta means it is, again, it's glowing. Deepta, blazing. So, fire. Hutasavaktram. Your mouths. Your mouths, blazing fires are coming out from your mouth. So, that's what. Deeptam Kutasavaktram Swatejasa Viswamidam Tapantam. By your tejas, by your that radiance which comes from your universal form, this entire universe is actually getting very hot. It's getting heated up. So idam tapantam. So Swatejasa Viswamidam Tapantam. So Krishna is saying that I give the heat. Tapami aham varsham. Tapami aham. Tapam means it's the heat. So that's what tapantam. Swatejasa viswamidam tapantam. By your own, by the radiance, by the fire, by the glaring effulgence, everything is coming out from your body, from your universal form. This entire universe itself is getting very hot. So swatejasa viswamidam tapantam. So that's what Arjuna is saying here. So you are without origin, middle or end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms and the sun and moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this entire universe by your own radiance. So that's what Arjuna is saying in this sloka, number 19, in the 11th chapter. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we successfully finished 19 slokas in the 11th chapter. Hare Krishna. I will stop now and we'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.